Imagine entering any room and immediately feeling at ease, confident, and present, knowing that the people around you are curious about what you have to say and that your presence naturally draws attention, not because you are loud or flashy, but because you carry yourself with calm assurance and openness. This ability to connect with anyone is not a talent reserved for a select few. It is a skill that can be cultivated deliberately and consistently, and it begins with understanding the fundamentals of human interaction and your own social energy. The first key lesson is awareness. Awareness of your body language, your posture, your gestures, and the subtle ways you express yourself. Awareness allows you to align your internal confidence with your outward presence so that every interaction feels natural, genuine, and effortless. Your posture communicates volumes about you even before a word is spoken. Standing or sitting tall with relaxed shoulders, open chests, and steady gaze signals confidence, approachability, and warmth. The subtle adjustments you make to your stance create an invisible framework that shapes how others perceive you. When your body is grounded and relaxed, your mind follows suit. Your voice becomes more even, your words flow more naturally, and your presence becomes magnetic. The first lesson is simple, yet profound. Awareness and alignment of your body is the foundation for connection and influence. Presence is the next key principle. Being present means fully engaging with the moment, rather than rehearsing what to say next or worrying about how you appear. It is about listening deeply, observing attentively, and responding authentically. When you are fully present, people feel valued, heard, and understood. Your attention is a gift, your curiosity is an invitation, and your engagement is the spark that turns ordinary conversations into memorable exchanges. The more consistently you practice presence, the more natural and effortless your interactions become. It is the subtle magic that draws people toward you and fosters trust and warmth. Curiosity is another essential lesson. Genuine curiosity transforms conversations from awkward exchanges into meaningful dialogues. It allows you to ask questions not to perform, but to understand, to connect, to learn about the other person in a way that makes them feel important and appreciated. Curiosity shifts the focus away from yourself and toward the other person, creating a rhythm of interaction that is mutually rewarding. The habit of curiosity creates rapport naturally and consistently, and over time it becomes an automatic response that enhances every interaction. Listening deeply is one of the most powerful skills you can develop. Active listening means more than hearing words. It means understanding the feelings, intentions, and nuances behind what is being said. It involves giving your full attention, reflecting subtly on what you hear, and responding in ways that demonstrate comprehension and empathy. Listening well builds trust and connection instantly, because people instinctively respond to those who make them feel seen and understood. The ability to listen actively requires patience, awareness, and practice, but it multiplies your social influence and strengthens every relationship. Your tone and pacing are also critical elements of effective communication. The way you speak carries as much weight as the words themselves. Speaking too quickly can signal nervousness. Speaking too slowly can reduce engagement. The ideal tone is calm, warm, and confident, aligned with the emotional context of the conversation. Your voice is a tool that can create comfort, attention, and resonance. Modulating your tone and rhythm enhances clarity and makes your interactions more engaging and persuasive. It is the bridge that connects your presence with your words and makes your message memorable. Body language extends beyond posture to include gestures, eye contact, and facial expressions. Gestures should be natural, purposeful, and open, avoiding tension or fidgeting. They reinforce what you say and communicate ease, confidence, and authenticity. Eye contact builds trust, intimacy, and engagement. When balanced with natural breaks, facial expressions convey empathy, emotional alignment, and warmth. The more congruent your nonverbal cues are with your words, the more believable, compelling, and magnetic your presence becomes. Confidence is cultivated through preparation, practice, and mindset. Preparation involves understanding the kind of interactions you want to have, being aware of your strengths and values, and rehearsing how you might engage without rigid scripting. Practice comes from initiating conversations, experimenting with different approaches, and reflecting on lessons learned. Mindset shapes your interpretation of social interactions. When you approach each encounter as an opportunity to learn and connect rather than a test or performance, your anxiety reduces and your effectiveness increases. The combination of preparation, practice, and mindset builds authentic confidence. Empathy is a cornerstone of connection, the ability to sense and understand the emotions and perspectives of others signals care and attentiveness. It allows you to respond thoughtfully and appropriately to the emotional currents in a conversation. Empathic listening and observation deepen relationships and make others feel valued. Consistent practice of empathy strengthens your social intuition and allows you to navigate complex interactions smoothly, making your presence feel naturally supportive and inviting. Humor is a subtle yet powerful social tool. Used correctly, it can break tension, create rapport, and signal approachability. Humor is not about telling jokes, but about creating lightness in conversation and shared enjoyment. It requires timing awareness and sensitivity. The skill lies in observing what makes others comfortable and responding with playful relatability. Humor builds connection, eases social friction, and makes interactions memorable. It communicates warmth, intelligence, and confidence, and accelerates bonding when used authentically and naturally. Stories amplify your influence and presence. Humans are wired to respond to narrative. Stories convey ideas and emotions simultaneously. They are memorable and engaging. Sharing personal experiences or illustrative anecdotes provides context and relatability. Stories should be concise, authentic, and emotionally resonant. Weaving them into conversation enhances understanding and creates an emotional bridge between you and the listener. As your storytelling becomes more fluent, your interactions become richer and more captivating. Adaptability is another key lesson. Flexibility in communication allows you to adjust to the energy, personality, and context of each interaction. The same approach does not work for everyone. Responsiveness builds trust and comfort, and signals awareness, intelligence, and respect. Observing, listening, and adjusting in real time differentiates those who are socially effective from those who struggle to connect. Consistent adaptability in diverse situations ensures that you can engage meaningfully with anyone and creates a sense of ease and harmony in your presence. First impressions are crucial. They are formed within seconds. Your appearance, posture, smile, energy, and initial words shape perceptions that last long after the conversation ends. The goal of a strong first impression is to convey warmth, confidence, and approachability quickly and subtly. The principles of body language, tone, engagement, and presence, learned earlier, compound here, reinforcing an aura that invites others into meaningful interaction and makes your presence remembered. Gratitude and acknowledgement enhance connection. Simple expressions of appreciation for time, attention, insight, or effort strengthen bonds and signal respect. Acknowledgement builds loyalty and reciprocity. It turns ordinary encounters into positive, memorable experiences. Consistently practicing acknowledgement deepens relationships and fosters goodwill, making your social interactions richer and more rewarding over time. As you integrate these principles consistently, they compound. Every small improvement strengthens confidence, every connection builds insight, every practice deepens skill. The cumulative effect is transformation over months and years. Your social presence evolves from tentative and uncertain to fluid, confident, and magnetic. Your ability to navigate conversations, relationships, and social networks becomes almost instinctive. Every interaction reinforces habits and skills that create lasting social success. Beyond awareness, presence, and empathy lies the power of energy. The energy you carry into any interaction is subtle, yet profoundly influential. It is the combination of your emotional state, mindset, and physical presence that people instinctively sense before a word is spoken. Maintaining a calm, confident, and warm energy invites engagement and signals approachability. The practice of observing your own energy and adjusting it to suit the situation transforms social encounters from routine exchanges into memorable moments. When your energy is aligned with your intention, your presence becomes magnetic, and people are drawn naturally to your warmth, authenticity, and confidence. Confidence grows through repetition and reflection. Each conversation provides an opportunity to test your awareness, practice your listening, and refine your energy. the small victories compound over time. Every genuine smile, every thoughtful response, every moment of attentiveness reinforces your ability to connect effortlessly. Consistency strengthens habit, and habit strengthens presence over time. You will notice that engaging with new people becomes easier, fluid, and natural. Your interactions flow with a rhythm that feels comfortable for both you and those you encounter. Your social intuition deepens, and the subtle cues that once went unnoticed become obvious signals guiding your responses and actions. Mastering introductions is a skill that influences both personal and professional relationships. The way you introduce yourself sets the tone for ongoing interactions. Your name, your tone, your posture, and your initial words convey confidence and clarity. Avoid rushed or overly casual openings. Instead, focus on clarity, warmth, and engagement. Your goal is to create an immediate sense of comfort and interest. Your introduction is an opportunity to plant the seeds of connection, to make the other person feel valued and curious about you. A well-crafted introduction naturally leads to meaningful dialogue and lasting rapport. Listening actively requires focus not just on words, but on meaning, emotion, and intention. Notice patterns in speech cadence and body language that reveal thought processes and feelings. Reflecting subtly what you hear with nods, questions, or affirmations demonstrates attentiveness. And understanding this practice creates resonance and strengthens relationships by signaling validation and recognition. It is an understated skill that people instinctively respond to with trust and openness. The more consistently you apply active listening, the more it becomes automatic and impactful across all forms of interaction. The art of questioning shapes conversation and influence. Asking open-ended, thoughtful questions encourages dialogue and invites others to share. More deeply closed or superficial questions can limit interaction and make the exchange feel transactional. Cultivate questions that demonstrate curiosity, empathy, and engagement. Your questions should be guided by genuine interest rather than performance or expectation. Over time, this approach fosters deep rapport and positions you as an engaging, attentive, and intelligent conversational partner. Managing silence and pauses is another subtle tool that enhances communication. Many people feel compelled to fill every moment with words, yet strategic. Pauses create space for thought, reflection, and emotional resonance. They allow the listener to process ideas and signals. Confidence, patience, and composure. Your ability to tolerate silence without anxiety communicates self-assurance and creates natural opportunities for meaningful exchange. It encourages reflection and fosters depth in conversation, making interactions richer and more impactful. Body language continues to play a pivotal role. Gestures should accompany words, naturally reinforcing meaning and emotion rather than distracting from them. Subtle hand movements, nods, and posture shifts communicate engagement, attentiveness, and understanding. Maintain balanced eye contact that signals interest without overbearing intensity. Your facial expressions should reflect emotional alignment with the conversation. These nonverbal cues work in harmony with words to convey authenticity, warmth, and reliability. The more conscious you are of these signals, the more persuasive and magnetic your presence becomes. Storytelling deepens engagement and memorability. Humans respond to narrative. It engages emotion and cognition, simultaneously weaving personal anecdotes or illustrative examples into conversation. Allows you to communicate complex ideas in relatable ways. Your stories should be concise, emotionally aligned, and authentic. They create empathy and connection while providing insight into your character and values. Effective storytelling elevates ordinary conversation into memorable experiences that foster trust, rapport, and influence over time. Adaptability allows you to navigate diverse social situations fluidly. Each individual, group, or context requires subtle shifts in tone, and demeanor. Observing social dynamics and adjusting appropriately communicates social intelligence and awareness. Adaptability demonstrates respect and alignment with others, creating comfort and openness. It is a skill honed through reflection and experience over time, allowing seamless integration into varying social settings from casual gatherings to formal networking. Humor enhances connection when used sensitively. It fosters shared enjoyment, eases tension, and signals relatability. It is less about jokes and more about creating moments of lightness that engage others emotionally. Humor demonstrates social awareness and confidence. It encourages approachability and strengthens bonds when delivered authentically. It becomes an invisible bridge between people, enhancing engagement, trust, and comfort. The ability to create shared laughter is a hallmark of socially skilled individuals who navigate interactions with charm and grace. Expressing genuine appreciation reinforces positive relationships. Acknowledgement of effort, time, insights, and presence fosters trust, loyalty, and goodwill. Simple expressions of gratitude deepen bonds and signal attentiveness and respect. Over time, this builds strong networks both personally and professionally. Consistently practicing acknowledgement transforms ordinary interactions into meaningful exchanges, leaving lasting impressions and promoting reciprocity and connection. Managing difficult interactions gracefully is a crucial skill. Effective communicators maintain composure in the face of disagreement, tension, or misunderstanding. They focus on understanding, validating, and responding thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively, maintaining a calm, solution-oriented approach communicates strength and reliability. It preserves relationships and fosters respect. The ability to navigate conflict with poise and empathy differentiates those who are socially effective from those who struggle in challenging situations. Charisma emerges from the alignment of awareness, presence, energy, empathy, humor, storytelling, and adaptability. It is not an innate trait reserved for a few, but the product of consistent, deliberate practice of social skills. It is the synthesis of confidence, authenticity, and attentiveness. People are drawn to those who convey warmth, reliability, and engagement. Simultaneously, cultivating charisma requires patience, repetition, and reflection. As each component integrates naturally, your presence becomes compelling, effortless, and influential. Confidence in networking is built on preparation, insight, and curiosity. Understanding the individuals or groups you engage with allows tailored approaches that respect context while conveying interest and warmth. Preparation should include self-reflection on strengths, conversation strategies, and desired outcomes. Curiosity drives questions. Engagement and depth over time. Consistent practice and application transforms networking from intimidating to intuitive, building meaningful connections effortlessly and confidently. Developing emotional intelligence strengthens every interaction. Recognizing emotional cues, responding with empathy, and regulating your own emotional state creates rapport and trust. Emotionally intelligent individuals communicate effectively, influence authentically, and navigate relationships successfully. The conscious practice of emotional awareness and management enhances resilience, presence, and the capacity to connect across diverse personalities and situations. Practice remains the backbone of social mastery. Repeated application reinforces learning and habit building. Every interaction provides feedback and insight. Each experience is an opportunity to refine listening, observation, energy management, and adaptability over time. These consistent small improvements compound into remarkable growth. Your social competence evolves from conscious effort into an intuitive and fluid skill set, allowing authentic, effortless, and impactful engagement in every setting. Authenticity is the foundation of all meaningful social interaction. The more genuine you are in your expressions, your tone, and your responses, the more trust, rapport, and connection you create. People intuitively sense authenticity and are drawn toward it. Conversely, insincerity or forced behavior creates subtle tension and distance. Authenticity does not mean perfection, it means aligning your words, actions, and energy with your true intentions. Practicing authenticity allows you to engage confidently without pretense and fosters deep respect and attraction in both personal and professional interactions. Self-awareness deepens social effectiveness. Understanding your strengths, tendencies, and triggers allows you to manage how you present yourself and how you respond to others. Being conscious of your internal state, energy, and biases gives you control over your interactions. You learn when to listen more, when to speak, when to adjust your energy, and when to create space for others. Self-awareness is not static. It develops through reflection, feedback, and intentional practice. The more self-aware you become, the more naturally aligned and magnetic your presence is in any social context. Mirroring and subtle alignment are powerful psychological tools that create comfort and rapport, subtly matching another person's body language, tone, pace, and energy signals. Understanding and connection, humans are wired to respond positively to those who reflect their behaviors naturally and respectfully. Mirroring should never be exaggerated or mechanical. It should be intuitive and gentle, creating a sense of harmony and unconscious trust between people when used appropriately. This technique deepens engagement and makes interactions flow effortlessly. Developing conversational flow requires attention to rhythm and balance. The best conversations are neither rushed nor stagnant. They are dynamic exchanges where listening and speaking are in harmony. Your contributions should add value, insight, or warmth without dominating the dialogue. Effective conversationalists notice pauses, emotional cues, and engagement levels, adjusting their pacing and content to sustain interest and connection over time. The art of flow creates interactions that feel natural, enjoyable, and memorable for both parties. The strategic use of compliments enhances connection. When sincere and specific compliments are offered, they convey attentiveness, appreciation, and warmth. Generic or overused compliments are less effective. The most impactful praise acknowledges effort, qualities, or achievements in a way that makes the recipient feel truly seen. Compliments should be balanced and natural, reinforcing rapport and positivity. They act as social lubricants, subtly strengthening trust and affinity, while encouraging openness and continued engagement. Handling rejection gracefully is a key lesson in social resilience. Not every attempt at connection will succeed, and not every conversation will unfold perfectly. Accepting this reality without internalizing it preserves confidence and emotional balance. It is important to maintain composure, remain courteous, and reflect on what can be learned from each interaction, rather than seeing failure as a personal shortcoming. Those who master graceful handling of rejection maintain momentum, preserve relationships, and continue to grow socially without fear or hesitation. Storytelling for influence and memorability goes beyond anecdotes. It involves structuring narratives that are emotionally resonant, concise, and aligned with the listener's perspective. Stories illustrate values, experiences, and insights, allowing others to understand, relate, and remember your message. A well-crafted story can simplify complex ideas, evoke empathy, and create emotional bonds. Effectively used storytelling transforms conversations into experiences that leave lasting impressions and strengthens your overall social influence. Reading nonverbal cues is an essential skill. Body language, facial expressions, micro-expressions, and subtle gestures communicate far more than words alone. Noticing these signals allows you to respond appropriately, build rapport, and avoid miscommunication. Active observation requires focus and practice. It is not intrusive, but attentive and respectful when you accurately interpret nonverbal information. You can mirror emotions, validate feelings, and adjust energy to create optimal interaction dynamics, enhancing comfort, understanding, and connection. Emotional regulation amplifies effectiveness in social interactions. Your internal state directly affects how you engage others. Remaining calm, grounded, and composed, even under stress, conveys reliability and authority. Emotional regulation is cultivated through mindfulness, reflection, and self-awareness. It allows for measured responses rather than reactive ones, creating an environment where trust, clarity, and positive influence can thrive. Those who master emotional regulation navigate difficult or high-stakes interactions with ease and effectiveness. Building curiosity-driven relationships emphasizes genuine interest over superficial networking. Asking questions that explore experiences, opinions, values, and perspectives encourages depth in conversation. Curiosity signals care and attentiveness, creating reciprocity and engagement. Over time, consistent application of curiosity transforms casual acquaintances into meaningful, lasting relationships and fosters an environment where both parties feel valued, understood, and connected. Voice modulation and articulation enhance clarity and presence. A controlled, expressive voice conveys confidence, intelligence, and warmth. Monotone delivery or overly rapid speech diminishes credibility and engagement. Your voice is an instrument for connection, using inflection, pacing, And pause strategically highlights important points, sustains attention, and conveys emotion naturally. Well-modulated speech reinforces authenticity and draws listeners into your presence, creating trust and memorability. Humility strengthens influence and likability. Humility is expressed through acknowledging limitations, showing openness to others' ideas, and valuing contribution without diminishing confidence. Humility fosters respect, creates relatability, and signals emotional intelligence. Overconfidence or arrogance erodes connection, while humility, combined with competence, enhances attraction. Trust and engagement. Consistently practicing humility strengthens relationships while reinforcing authority through respect rather than intimidation. Creating positive energy amplifies every interaction. Your demeanor, attitude, and expressions influence the mood of the conversation. Positive energy is contagious and draws people naturally. It signals confidence, warmth, and approachability, maintaining optimism, attentiveness, and engagement, even in neutral or challenging interactions, enhances rapport and encourages continued interaction. Positive energy is an intentional choice and a practiced habit that compounds over time, improving social influence and enjoyment. Practicing reflective feedback deepens understanding and social growth, reflecting on interactions, considering successes and areas for improvement, and seeking constructive insights strengthens skill acquisition and self-awareness. The practice of reflection ensures that lessons are internalized and applied in future interactions over time. This deliberate approach fosters continuous improvement and accelerates mastery in social competence and relational influence. Networking strategically combines all skills. It is not about quantity, but about quality. Creating meaningful, mutually beneficial relationships requires preparation, curiosity, authenticity, and consistent follow-through. Identifying opportunities to contribute, support, or engage authentically strengthens reputation and influence over time. Strategic networking builds social capital, creates access to knowledge and resources, and deepens relational trust. Consistently applied, it transforms casual interactions into a network of valuable, meaningful connections that sustain personal and professional growth. Mastering follow-up and consistency is one of the most powerful social skills. You can develop meaningful relationships are rarely created in a single interaction. They are built over time through attention, thoughtfulness, and consistent engagement. Following up with genuine interest, appreciation, or insight reinforces connections and signals reliability and care. Small gestures like remembering details, sharing relevant insights, or checking in demonstrate attentiveness and strengthen bonds over time. Consistency and engagement compounds, like compound interest in finance. The more consistently you nurture your relationships, the stronger and more resilient they become. Advanced influence techniques involve subtle cues, framing, and reciprocity. Understanding human psychology allows you to guide conversations and interactions without manipulation, rather through alignment, empathy, and clarity. Framing your words to emphasize mutual benefit, shared goals, and common understanding encourages cooperation and trust. Reciprocity is natural when you offer value, support, or insight. Without expectation, it fosters goodwill and enhances the depth and quality of social networks. These skills are learned through observation, reflection, and deliberate application, and are most effective when integrated seamlessly with authenticity and empathy. The art of storytelling at a higher level includes emotional resonance, pacing, and relatability. Narratives that evoke emotion, illustrate principles, and are relatable create profound engagement. Weaving metaphors, examples, and personal experiences into your communication enriches understanding and memorability. Your stories become bridges that connect intellect and emotion. They foster trust, reinforce lessons, and leave lasting impressions on listeners. Advanced storytelling transforms ordinary interactions into memorable and meaningful experiences that continue to influence long after the conversation ends. Social intuition develops as your awareness, observation, and practice converge. You begin to sense unspoken cues, anticipate responses, and navigate complex interpersonal dynamics effortlessly. It is cultivated over time through reflection, attention, and mindfulness. Social intuition allows you to adapt naturally, prevent misunderstandings, and respond in ways that maximize comfort and connection. It creates a sense of ease and flow in interactions that others perceive as charisma or natural talent. In reality, it is the result of deliberate cultivation and attentive practice. Networking at a strategic level involves understanding systems, recognizing value, and contributing meaningfully beyond transactional exchange. Strategic social engagement focuses on mutual benefit, long-term rapport, and authentic presence. It includes remembering names, connecting people thoughtfully, offering insight, and reinforcing positive impressions. Consistent strategic networking transforms casual acquaintances into a powerful and supportive network that provides knowledge, opportunity, and personal growth, while reinforcing your own reputation and credibility. Presence under pressure is an advanced skill. The ability to maintain calm, warmth, and clarity in challenging or high-stakes situations signals confidence, reliability, and composure. Your reactions influence the tone of interactions. Those who manage their presence effectively create trust, reduce tension, and influence outcomes positively. This involves controlling internal state, practicing emotional regulation, and maintaining awareness of energy, posture, and tone. The more practiced this skill becomes, the more naturally you navigate complex social and professional scenarios. Closing conversations effectively is as important as starting them strong. Leaving a positive, memorable impression ensures that relationships continue to grow. A thoughtful summary of the interaction, expressing appreciation, reinforcing connection, or offering follow-up intentions strengthens relational bonds. Your closing words and demeanor should mirror the warmth, attentiveness, and authenticity that define the interaction from the beginning. This reinforces trust, recall, and positive perception while paving the way for future engagement. Sustaining social skills requires integration into daily life. Consistent practice, reflection, and reinforcement are key to mastery. Every conversation, interaction, or networking opportunity becomes a chance to apply principles, observe outcomes, and refine technique. Habit formation is critical. The small, deliberate daily applications of these skills compound over months and years, creating effortless social fluency and transforming your relationships, professional opportunities, and overall presence in profound and lasting ways. Visualization reinforces confidence and performance. Imagine yourself entering rooms calmly, greeting people warmly, listening actively, and responding thoughtfully. Imagine your presence being felt, appreciated, and respected. Picture yourself handling challenging interactions with ease, creating connections, and leaving lasting positive impressions. These mental rehearsals prepare your mind and body to act naturally, reduce anxiety, and enhance authenticity. Visualization is a tool that complements practice, ensuring readiness and reinforcing mastery. Mindset shapes every interaction. Approaching social encounters with abundance, curiosity, patience, and authenticity transforms not only outcomes, but your internal experience. Viewing relationships as opportunities for learning, growth, and mutual enrichment reduces stress and fosters engagement. An abundance mindset removes fear, comparison, and scarcity thinking. It allows you to act from confidence and authenticity rather than need or pressure, reinforcing consistency, warmth, and genuine interest as the foundation for all successful interactions. As you integrate awareness, presence, empathy, active listening, storytelling, adaptability, humor, emotional intelligence, authenticity, and strategic follow-up into your daily life, these principles compound over time. Social confidence becomes second nature. Interactions flow effortlessly and authentically, and your influence, trust, and impact grow exponentially. Mastery is the product of deliberate practice, reflection, and consistent application. Every lesson learned, every small improvement, every successful connection strengthens your social capability and builds lasting relationships. Remember that transformation is gradual and cumulative. Every interaction is an opportunity to reinforce your skills and build confidence. Each conversation is a stepping stone toward effortless, authentic, and impactful social presence. Your social fluency, charisma, and relational intelligence are cultivated through daily practice, reflection, and intentionality. Over time, the results compound invisibly until they manifest as natural ease, magnetic presence, and meaningful connections that support every area of your life. Your journey in mastering communication and relationships is ongoing each day. You apply these principles, you strengthen your ability to connect, influence, and engage effectively with everyone you meet, whether personal or professional. The continuous application of these lessons transforms not only your social interactions, but your overall confidence, presence, and ability to navigate the world with clarity, warmth, and impact. Now take a deep breath and reflect on the progress you have made simply by engaging with these lessons. Envision yourself practicing each principle with calm confidence and ease. Imagine the energy, warmth, and clarity you bring to every interaction. The patience, consistency, and reflection you apply compound into mastery and influence. The road to social fluency is open before you. And every deliberate step you take creates momentum, strengthens skill, and deepens connection. Your transformation is not hypothetical. It is happening now with every choice you make, every interaction you engage in, and every principle you apply consistently. You are building effortless social presence, genuine connection, and lasting relational success. You have the knowledge, the tools, and the capacity to embody confidence, warmth, and authenticity in every interaction, and to make meaningful connections naturally, effectively, and gracefully. And as you continue this journey, remember that the principles of awareness, presence, empathy, active listening, storytelling, adaptability, humor, emotional intelligence, authenticity, and strategic follow-up are yours to apply every day to create deep, lasting, and positive impact in your life and in the lives of others. Subscribe for more.